Hello everyone. This is Garrett Bagley's Bracketology. This is the best bracketology you will be able to see, and they're going to be all correct picks. I do want to say in hindsight, my favorite team is NC State, and I will not be biased at all when getting their game against Texas Tech, who I'm also a fan of due to living in Lubbock in the past. Starting off game one in the East, UConn over Stetson. It's easy. I mean, there's going to be no 16 seed upsets. It's as simple as that. FAU Northwestern, you got to know that FAU took a deep tournament run last year, and as much as they're not as good as a team this year, they're good enough to beat Northwestern. We can look at some of the stats for that just to understand, going to this men's tournament challenge, looking at the preview shows you a lot of stuff, their best wins, some of their closest losses, like this Illinois game that they only lost by 9 points. That's pretty good. Illinois is a really good team this year, really underrated. Memphis is pretty good. Beating SMU is all right. Beating Arizona, that's huge. The FAU's not a bad team. Tells you some fun facts like this that might help you pick. And this ESPN analysis review also helps you pick your decisions. So this is most of the stuff I'm using and some knowledge that I already have, background of these games. But I'm going to pick FAU in this game. San Diego State also last year had a good run in the tournament. San Diego State compared to UAB, not much to it. San Diego State's won this game. Same with Auburn and Yale. Yale did have a really good conference championship game that they won on the buzzer beater, I believe. That was pretty impressive, but Auburn's a really good team this year. They did lose to App State early in the year, but that's just early in the year. They're shaped up later in the year and are a really good team now. BYU beating, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that team. Illinois over Marquette State. Like I said, Illinois is a really hot team, can make a really deep run. They're actually really good this year. Washington State over Drake. Now, this is one of my first matchups that I like to look at in depth. I feel like this is going to be one of the really good games. Looking at there's players like Tucker here. He is very good. Good player. Looking at his stats, lots of notable results here to look at. Drake beats Indiana State Sycamores, who, if you've been following this year, all have been doing really good. Surprised not to see him in the bracket. I do think that's a bad one on the bracket makers, but we're going to go with Drake in this game. I think they can get the upset over Washington State. Washington State is just not all they're set out to be. Iowa State's beating South Dakota State. UConn FAU, continuing the East. I'm going to take UConn here. UConn's looking very dominant this year and looks like they want to go back-to-back. The last time that happened was Florida in, I believe, 07, 08. San Diego State Auburn. This is a good game we got here, but I do think I'm going to pick Auburn here. Like I said, Auburn's been really hot. As much as I like San Diego State, Auburn's just a really hot team. You can see some of their notable wins, notable losses. Surprised App State is on as a notable loss, but see this. 4 seeds are 47-35, but I've won 18 of 26 meetings, 69.2 since 2011. So just shows you some stuff. Stuff doesn't really matter that much. Cool to know though. Looking at all this stuff down here, like South Dakota State being 3 over top 25 is good, but considering their net ranking, their BPI rank, it's not enough to give them the upper hand over Auburn. BYU, Illinois, I'm going to go with Illinois. BYU has lost to some teams, lost some winnable games. Drake, Iowa State. As much as I do like Drake, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think Iowa State will win by at least 10. Could be a good game, though. However, I would not be super surprised if it went to Drake, but it's a low chance for sure. I'm definitely going to go Iowa State here. So, pretty boring Sweet 16 in the East, all top seeds, but I'm going to go UConn over Auburn. If you know your ball, you'd understand that immediately. And I'm also going to take Iowa State in this game. So this is definitely a game that lots of people like to look at. Just looking at the records, pretty similar. Iowa State did win their conference championship. I believe Illinois did as well, which is pretty cool. Illinois got some really good players. Iowa State's got some really good players. Iowa State is a good defense team. They play really aggressive on defense. See, it's just saying this down here, but definitely gonna win this game, I believe. After that, I do have UConn advancing to the Final Four. Okay, going on down to the West. Now, like I said, I'm just before, I'm a big State fan, so I do not like UNCCH at all. But I'm an honest bracket guy, because I'm gonna get the perfect bracket. UNC wins this game. All right, this is a big game right here. Mississippi State, Michigan State. Mississippi State had an outlandish conference run. Not as good as NC State's, though, man. That was something. NC State's run was something. But Mississippi State, I believe they beat Tennessee by almost 20. Wild. Michigan State just hasn't been the same as they used to in the past. Now, I do believe Michigan State's a good team, and this is a very equal fight. This might be, I'd say this is definitely top 3 best games to watch in the tournament. That and another one that I'll get to later, along with the Washington State Drake. I do have Michigan State winning, however. St. Mary's Grand Canyon. Here is where lots of people think that Grand Canyon's going to get the upset. They're not. St. Mary's is a good team. Look at the stats. St. Mary's is a good team. Let's look at some of the stuff right now. Looking at some of their notable wins. New Mexico, good team. They beat them by, I'm not going to do the math, 14? Lost to Xavier. Xavier's not a great team. That was really early in the season, though. Doesn't define them. San Francisco, I don't believe are great, but beating Gonzaga. Gonzaga, lots of people think they're having a bad year, but not that bad. And St. Mary's did win the conference championship, I believe. Oh, and it looks like Grand Canyon did as well. But I am going to give that St. Mary's. Alabama over Charleston. Here's an upset. I got New Mexico over Clemson. New Mexico's a hot team. They're coming in and they want to win this game. Clemson, just not that good. Got knocked out in the AC tournament early, and just not what people think they were. They were good early season, but it's not that anymore. Colgate has been in the tournament a lot recently and lost every single round, which I do think they're bound to win one eventually. Not this year. Good luck next year, Colgate. Taking Nevada over Dayton. Now, this is another 10 seed over 7 seed I'm taking. Dayton did win their conference championship. Nevada didn't. But the Wolfpack, the other Wolfpack, is a hot team, and they are looking to pick up a win in this. Well-rounded team, just like I said. Good at three-point shooting. Got some good wins against TCU, San Diego State. But, yeah, I am going to have Nevada there. Arizona win that game. I'm going to take UNCCH over Michigan State. Now, I like RJ Davis. He's a really good player. Armando Bay got terrible, extremely overrated. Maybe a little bit biased, but I actually do think he's overrated, especially compared to DJ Burns, a dog. But they will win that game. I think RJ Davis is a really good player. St. Mary's over Alabama is what I'm thinking for this game. I think if this does come up, it'll be really good. But like I said, I think St. Mary's is a really underrated team. 26-7 record. Come look at some of the stats down here. 2-1 versus top 25, whereas Alabama's 2-7. Really bad. Really close in BPI rank. 15-1 in conference is pretty nuts. St. Mary's is a really good team, as they did win their conference championship. St. Mary's wins that game. New Mexico and Baylor. I think New Mexico continues their streak. Every single year is at least one team, not actually, but basically, that will make it to the Sweet 16. Little tiny Cinderella story. That's going to be New Mexico this year. Baylor's just not a hot team. They've lost some winnable games, much like one of the other teams I was talking about earlier. But I will take New Mexico. Taking Arizona over Nevada. Arizona's a very hot team. Caleb Love is a good player. Definitely think he's going to do there. I do have UNC beating St. Mary's. Now, I do think St. Mary's is a good team, but UNC, good team. I will admit Hubert Davis is a good coach. I do think lots of players on UNC are overrated, but RJ Davis is really good, and they're good on defense, unless they're playing TJ Burns. Arizona over New Mexico. Sorry, New Mexico, run into your Arizona. It's just a hot team. Really good coming into the tournament, and then Arizona wins this too. It's Caleb Love versus his ex-team. That's going to be a really good game. But, UNCCH just isn't going to be able to put it down, I don't think. As much as I do like RJ, I do think Arizona wins this game. Let's move on up to the South. I'm going to take Houston over Longwood. It's happening. Might as well go ahead and do Marquette over Western Kentucky as well. Nebraska, Texas A&M. Now, this is a very close game in my opinion. I think both of these teams are good teams. There's a lot to like. Texas A&M barely making it in. Same with Nevada. Now, I do like this. I'm not going to say his name. This dude right here, I'm circling the mouse around. I don't want to buffer it too bad. But I'm going to pick Nebraska in this game. He's been a pretty hot player coming up in the later season. You can look at some notable wins and losses. They got some pretty good wins, and most of their losses are to pretty good teams. JMU over Wisconsin. This is a big upset that I think. I am an App State fan, but James Madison is just a good team. I don't really like them a lot just because, but they are a good basketball team and really want to make a run in this. I believe they're 30-3, which is pretty nuts. And Wisconsin's 21-13. Yeah, I do think JMU has a good chance of upsetting this. Duke over Vermont. Not much to say. I'm going to go NC State over Texas Tech. After that ACC tournament run NC State pulled off, I think anything is possible. I thought we were going to lose to Louisville first round. After we beat Louisville, I had a good feeling we were winning it all because I didn't think we were winning that. But that was a wild run. Can't believe that happened. Can't believe I got to watch that. Kentucky over Oakland. All right, so this is going to be a good game. I think Colorado beats Boise State, but I don't think Colorado will beat Florida, so I'm going to give that to Florida. I'm going to take Houston over Nebraska, and I am going to start James Madison, but I do think Duke wins this game. Okay, now this is a good game. Going against Robert Dillingham. He decommitted from NC State in his recruitment process. But, I mean, honestly, I do think NC State could win this game. I think it's very, very realistic, and I really want them to win this game. However, I'm trying to make the perfect bracket. If I'm being realistic, I think it's NC State wins Texas Tech. It gives about 60-40% odds. 60% Kentucky wins, 40% NC State wins this game. But I'm trying to get the perfect bracket, so I'm going to take the higher percentage, which is Kentucky. I'm going to go Marquette. Actually, I have been looking at this one a lot, and I do think Florida's missing a key player. I don't remember his name, but he's good. But I do think Florida's could beat that game. I think they could. I think they can. I really think they can. I think it's a really 50-50 game, honestly. We can look at some of the stuff here. Florida's won some noticeable games. Marquette hasn't been playing a ton of noticeable people besides UConn, which they've lost all 3 matchups against. Not surprising, but, it is saying something. Villanova's not great. They beat Creighton. Creighton's a good team. Kansas is a good team. They really beat Creighton. That was really early season, so hard to tell. I'm going to give it to Florida. I'm going to give Houston over Duke. And I'm going to go Kentucky versus Houston for the Elite Eight in the South. Florida's run does end. I think they're a good team, but Kentucky's really good. I do like Robert Dillingham. He's a good player. I say Kentucky wins this game. Big surprise. Houston, everyone likes to say Houston's overrated. Houston's a good team. Straight up, Houston's a good team. But Kentucky is also a good team. They're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. Trust me, it's a perfect bracket here. Midwest region. Purdue. It's easy. People were saying Purdue always sells. Purdue's not selling this year. They want vengeance. Virginia lost to a 16 seed. Next year they came back and won the whole thing. Purdue might not win the whole thing. They won't. They will beat the 16 seed this year. Utah State, I like this team a lot. Utah State's a good team. You just gotta know them to know what you're talking about here. I'm gonna be honest, but Utah State is a good team. I'm going to take Gonzaga over McNeese. Lots of people think that McNeese could win this game. Gonzaga, I believe, is a very underrated team. Started off really poorly, did a little bit better at the end of the season. They didn't win their conference tournament, but I think they are will be ready for tournament come tournament time. Only losing Purdue by 10 is pretty impressive. Oh my gosh, I can't click anything. Kansas over Stanford. Oregon versus South Carolina. Now, we just saw Oregon do a really good Pac-12 tournament run. But beating Arizona, South Carolina is going to win this game. South Carolina is a hot team right now. Now, they didn't win their conference tournament, but they are good. They have some really good players. I just believe they have the upper hand in this. Creighton. And, okay, this is where it gets a little interesting here. I believe UVA beats Colorado State, but this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be one of the games definitely recommend trying to catch. I do think Texas will beat UVA, but it will be a good game. I could see it going the other way. It won't, though, because this is a perfect bracket. Tennessee, St. Peter's. Sorry, St. Peter's. Love what you did. I think it was last year that you did that run. But it's not going to happen again. Purdue beats Utah State. As much as I do like Utah State and do think this could be an upset, Purdue just has the upper hand here. Let's be honest. Gonzaga, Kansas. Now, this is a matchup to watch out for. I think Gonzaga wins this game. Lots of people are going to disagree with me, but Kansas just isn't the team they used to be. Neither is Gonzaga, but still have the upper hand in this battle. I'm going to take Creighton over South Carolina. Creighton's a good team. Just going to say it. Tennessee over Texas. Pretty self-explanatory if you've kept up with Tennessee at all recently. Tennessee will win this game. Purdue over Gonzaga. Purdue's telling you they're going to do good. All right, now going down to Creighton versus Tennessee. This is going to be a good matchup. But I do think that Creighton will pull off the W here. Creighton's just shown how they're elite. They're, I believe, a very underrated team coming into the tournament. Lots of people disagree, but I do believe they're... Because I said the same thing last year, that Creighton was an underrated team after they beat NC State first round. I was telling people that Creighton's good. They didn't listen to me, and Creighton made a run. And they're going to do it again. Will they make it to the Final Four? No, Purdue will. Or will they? Yeah, it's going to be Creighton. Come on. It's going to be Creighton. All right, now here we're looking at our Final Four. UConn, Arizona, Kentucky, Creighton. I like UConn in this matchup, but like I said, UConn, two-peat, very, very real possibility. Now, Arizona is a good team playing in Arizona. Definitely have the home court advantage, some might say. But UConn does not care. They are coming to win that game. Kentucky versus Creighton is going to be a really good game. I think Kentucky pulls it out. I think Kentucky's the best 3 seed in the championship. I was reading an article later that said the ceiling for Kentucky was national championship. Also said the same thing for Creighton. Ceiling is national championship. And those were the only 2 3 seeds that had the ceiling national championship in the article. Did do some research on this game. Just like looking at the preview. I looked at all the stuff earlier just to come into this. However, moving on to national championship, it's got to be UConn. It's got to be UConn. They're two-peating. People say no, but it will happen. Points, I've been going with 134. Think that happens. And I do believe that will be my bracket, my actual bracket. That will be 100% correct. And no need to fret. Thanks for watching, everyone, and tune in to my next video. That will be soon, hopefully. Probably not. Probably will take a break for another 2 or 3 months. See if I can submit that. Oh, I don't really want to do my email because I've already submitted one on my phone. But that is all. Thank you, everyone.